Ladies and gentlemen, let us take a moment to reflect on the essence of what it means to live in alignment with the divine truth. A woman of God in her heart and spirit knows that her worth is not determined by another's validation, but by the radiant connection she nurtures with herself and her Creator. She does not chase, she attracts. Why? Because she understands that her life is divinely guided. Everything she needs, including the love she desires, will come to her when the time is right. She trusts in the universe's perfect timing, for she knows that forcing outcomes only leads to disappointment and imbalance. This kind of woman cultivates her inner world. She knows that true beauty comes from a well-nourished soul, and true connection flows from authenticity. Instead of seeking someone to complete her, she spends time becoming the best version of herself. She focuses on her passions, her purpose, and her peace, knowing that this is the energy that draws the right people into her life. When a woman honors herself, she sets a standard of vibration that only those who respect and align with her energy can meet. She understands that chasing someone out of fear or loneliness is a betrayal of her own heart. Instead, she moves in faith, trusting that the universe knows her desires and is working to fulfill them in ways far beyond her imagination. A woman of God radiates love, not just for others, but for herself. She knows that self-love is not selfish, it is sacred. By cherishing her own worth, she becomes a beacon of light, drawing relationships rooted in mutual respect and genuine affection. She lives with the awareness that love, at its core, is never about possession. It's about connection, growth, and shared purpose, so she does not pursue, she embodies. She becomes the type of person she seeks in others, knowing that when she is whole, she will naturally attract someone equally aligned. Remember, the journey is not about finding someone to chase, it's about becoming someone who is magnetic. Let the universe surprise you, for when you live in faith and self-worth, you will receive a love that is true and divine. Let us embrace this truth, trust the process, and live each day as a testament to our divine purpose. You are enough, just as you are. Understanding self-worth and spiritual alignment is a profound journey that requires deep introspection, faith, and trust in one's connection with the divine. A woman who recognizes her true worth knows that her value is not determined by external factors, relationships, achievements, or societal validation. Instead, her worth is intrinsic, rooted in her very existence as a unique and divine creation. This awareness is transformative, shaping how she views herself, her life, and her relationships. To begin with, self-worth is not something that needs to be earned or proven. It is an inherent quality, like the sun's ability to shine or a river's capacity to flow. However, societal conditioning often leads individuals, particularly women, to believe that their value is tied to external accomplishments or the approval of others. Many are taught to equate their worth with how much they are desired, how well they meet expectations, or how many roles they fulfill in the lives of others. This external focus creates a disconnection from the true self, leaving one vulnerable to seeking validation in places where it can never truly be found. For a woman of God, self-worth is a reflection of her spiritual alignment. When she understands her connection to a higher power, she begins to see herself through the lens of unconditional love and divine purpose. She realizes that her life is not an accident, but a carefully designed journey with unique gifts, talents, and a mission. This realization shifts her focus from trying to earn worth to embracing it as a birthright. In practical terms, living with self-worth means setting boundaries that protect one's energy, time, and well-being. A woman aligned with her divine purpose understands that saying no to what diminishes her is just as important as saying yes to what uplifts her. She recognizes that her time and attention are sacred and does not give them away to pursuits or relationships that do not honor her value. This might mean stepping away from people or situations that take more than they give, resisting the urge to please at the expense of her own happiness, or choosing to be alone rather than in unfulfilling relationships. Spiritual alignment amplifies self-worth because it helps a woman see the bigger picture of her life. She begins to trust that her journey is divinely guided, even when things don't happen as she expects. She stops comparing herself to others or measuring her worth by timelines imposed by society. Instead, she embraces the truth that everything happens in divine timing and that what is meant for her will never pass her by. This trust allows her to let go of the need to chase relationships, opportunities, or success. She knows that what she truly deserves will come to her in the right way and at the right time. A key aspect of self-worth and spiritual alignment is recognizing that one's value is not diminished by rejection or failure. Too often, people internalize rejection as a sign that they are not good enough or lovable enough. However, a woman of God understands that rejection is often divine protection, steering her away from what does not serve her highest good. She learns to see setbacks as redirections, trusting that the universe has a greater plan for her life than she could envision for herself. Cultivating self-worth also involves embracing imperfections and understanding that they do not make one less worthy of love, success, or happiness. In a world that often glorifies perfection, a woman of faith learns to find beauty in her flaws and lessons in her struggles. She sees herself as a work in progress, knowing that growth is part of the human experience and that her worth remains constant regardless of where she is on her journey. This deep sense of worth enables her to attract relationships and opportunities that reflect her value. When a woman truly understands her worth, she no longer settles for less than she deserves. She stops seeking validation from external sources and instead cultivates a strong, loving relationship with herself. She begins to attract people who appreciate her for who she is, rather than who she feels she needs to be. At the heart of this transformation is the belief that worthiness is not something to be achieved, but something to be embraced. A woman who lives in spiritual alignment knows that her Creator has already deemed her worthy. She does not need to chase love, attention, or approval, because she understands that these things are already hers by divine right. This understanding frees her from the exhausting pursuit of validation and allows her to focus her energy on living a life that is true to her soul. Self-worth and spiritual alignment are about coming home to oneself. They are about remembering that each person is a divine creation with a unique purpose and an unshakable value. A woman who embodies this truth radiates confidence, peace, and joy. She becomes a beacon of light, drawing the right people and opportunities into her life effortlessly. She understands that her worth is not conditional, and her life is a reflection of the divine love and wisdom that guides her every step. Trust in divine timing is a profound act of faith that acknowledges the universe's intricate and perfect orchestration of events in our lives. It is an understanding that everything unfolds as it is meant to, not a moment too soon or too late. For a woman of God, this principle is foundational to her sense of peace, purpose, and patience, particularly in areas where the heart is involved. By trusting in divine timing, she releases the need for control and embraces the flow of life, knowing that the answers to her prayers and the fulfillment of her desires are being prepared in ways she may not yet comprehend. This trust requires her to surrender the urgency that often accompanies deeply held desires. When it comes to love, companionship, or the pursuit of meaningful relationships, society often imposes expectations and timelines. These pressures can lead to anxiety, impatience, or even the temptation to settle for less than what she truly deserves. However, a woman grounded in faith understands that rushing ahead or forcing outcomes can lead to unnecessary struggle and heartache. She knows that what is meant for her will find her in the right way and at the right time. This belief allows her to approach life with a sense of calm and assurance, free from the fear of missing out or being left behind. Patience becomes an act of strength and wisdom rather than a passive state. A woman of God recognizes that waiting is not a period of inactivity or stagnation, it is a season of preparation. During this time, she focuses on nurturing herself, growing spiritually, and aligning her actions with her higher purpose. She understands that the delays she perceives are not rejections, but opportunities for refinement. Perhaps the love she seeks requires her to heal old wounds, develop deeper self-awareness, or cultivate the qualities that will allow her to receive and reciprocate love in its purest form. Trusting in divine timing enables her to use this season wisely, knowing that the universe is not withholding her blessings, but rather preparing her to fully embrace them. In trusting divine timing, she also learns to embrace the unknown. Faith is not about having all the answers or knowing exactly how and when things will unfold. Instead, it is about trusting that the journey itself is just as important as the destination. A woman of God lets go of the need to micromanage her future, understanding that her limited perspective cannot compare to the infinite wisdom of the divine. She chooses to see every moment, even those filled with uncertainty, as a step toward something greater than she can imagine. This trust transforms her perspective, allowing her to approach life with curiosity and openness rather than fear and doubt. Trusting in divine timing also requires a shift in how she views challenges and obstacles. When things do not go according to her plans, she resists the urge to label these experiences as failures. Instead, she sees them as part of a larger, divinely orchestrated plan. Perhaps a door closed to protect her from harm, or to redirect her toward a path that better aligns with her purpose. Each delay, detour, or disappointment is a lesson in resilience and faith, teaching her to release what no longer serves her and make room for what is truly meant to be. This deep trust extends to her interactions with others. A woman of God understands that the people who come into her life, whether briefly or for a lifetime, are there for a reason. She does not chase or cling to relationships out of fear, but allows them to flow naturally, trusting that those who are meant to be in her life will stay. This belief frees her from the pain of trying to control others or hold on to connections that are not aligned with her highest good. She learns to appreciate the beauty of relationships as they are, without the need to force or manipulate their outcomes. Perhaps the most profound aspect of trusting in divine timing is the peace it brings. A woman of faith knows that she is not in this journey alone. The Creator, with infinite wisdom and boundless love, is guiding her every step. She does not need to worry or strive endlessly because she knows that her needs and desires have already been heard. This trust allows her to live with a sense of ease and gratitude, even when life does not go according to her plans. She knows that the universe is always conspiring for. Trusting in divine timing is an act of profound self-love and spiritual alignment. It is a declaration that she values herself enough to wait for what is best rather than settling for what is convenient. It is a testament to her faith in a higher power, a reminder that she is part of a larger, beautiful plan that is unfolding perfectly. In this trust, she finds the courage to let go, the patience to wait, and the wisdom to recognize that what is meant for her will never pass her by. Inner peace and self-respect are cornerstones of a fulfilling and meaningful life. For a woman of God, cultivating these qualities is not only a testament to her spiritual alignment, but also a reflection of her unwavering commitment to honoring herself and her divine purpose. These attributes serve as both a foundation and a guide, enabling her to navigate life's complexities with grace, strength, and clarity. By fostering inner peace and maintaining self-respect, she creates a life rooted in authenticity and harmony, free from the chaos of external validation or societal pressures. Inner peace begins with the recognition that it is not something to be found outside of oneself, but cultivated within. A woman grounded in her faith understands that true peace comes from aligning her thoughts, actions, and intentions with her higher self. This alignment requires her to quiet the noise of the world and listen to the still, small voice within. It is in this sacred space of introspection and connection that she discovers the serenity that no external circumstance can provide. She learns that peace is not the absence of challenges, but the presence of trust in herself, in the divine, and in the unfolding of her life's journey. Cultivating inner peace involves letting go of the need for control. Many people spend their lives trying to micromanage outcomes, fearing that things will fall apart if they don't exert constant effort. However, this approach often leads to stress, frustration, and a sense of disconnection. A woman of God embraces the truth that not everything is within her control, nor does it need to be. She understands that surrendering to the flow of life does not mean giving up. It means trusting that the universe is working on her behalf, even when things don't make immediate sense. This surrender frees her from the burden of constant worry, allowing her to focus on what truly matters. Inner peace is also closely tied to the practice of forgiveness. Holding on to anger, resentment, or guilt can create inner turmoil that disrupts her sense of balance. A woman committed to her spiritual growth understands the liberating power of forgiveness not as an act of condoning harm, but as a way of freeing herself from the weight of the past. By releasing negative emotions and choosing compassion, she makes space for peace to flourish within her heart. This choice empowers her to move forward with clarity and purpose, unencumbered by the chains of bitterness or regret. Self-respect is a natural extension of inner peace, reflecting a deep understanding of one's inherent worth and dignity. A woman who respects herself sets clear boundaries, knowing that doing so is an act of self-love and preservation. She does not allow others to dictate her value or compromise her principles. Instead, she approaches life with confidence and self-assurance, making decisions that honor her values and align with her divine purpose. This self-respect is not rooted in arrogance, but in a humble acknowledgement of her unique gifts and her role as a vessel for divine love and wisdom. Maintaining self-respect often requires the courage to walk away from situations or relationships that do not honor her worth. Society may encourage women to tolerate disrespect or settle for less than they deserve out of fear of being alone or unloved. However, a woman of faith knows that her worth is not determined by how others treat her, but by her own belief in her value. She refuses to compromise her integrity or diminish herself to fit into someone else's idea of who she should be. This strength allows her to attract relationships and opportunities that are in alignment with her true self. Inner peace and self-respect also empower her to embrace authenticity. She does not feel the need to wear masks or conform to expectations that do not resonate with her soul. Instead, she lives in alignment with her values and beliefs, unapologetically showing up as her true self. This authenticity creates a sense of freedom and joy, allowing her to fully express her unique essence without fear of judgment or rejection. In doing so, she inspires others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of authenticity and empowerment. A woman of God understands that inner peace and self-respect are not static achievements, but ongoing practices. Life will inevitably bring challenges, and there will be moments when she feels unsteady or unsure. In these times, she returns to her spiritual foundation, drawing strength from her faith and recommitting to the practices that nurture her peace and self-respect. She meditates, prays, reflects, and seeks guidance, knowing that these moments of reconnection are essential to maintaining her balance and clarity. Inner peace and self-respect are gifts she gives herself, gifts that transform not only her own life, but also the lives of those around her. By embodying these qualities, she becomes a source of light and inspiration, showing others what is possible when one chooses to honor oneself and trust in the divine. She creates a life of harmony and fulfillment, rooted in the unwavering belief that she is worthy of love, joy, and peace simply because she exists. In this understanding, she finds the freedom to live authentically, love deeply, and walk confidently in her purpose. A woman of God does not compromise her values, for she understands that these are the principles that guide her life and align her with her higher purpose. Her values are not merely preferences or ideals, they are deeply rooted in her spiritual beliefs, moral convictions, and personal integrity. They are the compass that directs her choices, the foundation upon which her life is built, and the standard by which she measures her actions and relationships. Refusing to compromise her values is an act of faith, self-respect, and wisdom that empowers her to live authentically and honorably. When a woman of God remains steadfast in her values, she demonstrates a profound understanding of her worth. She knows that she was created with intention and purpose, and that her values reflect the divine wisdom within her. These principles are not negotiable, nor are they subject to the shifting whims of societal expectations or external pressures. They are sacred and non-negotiable, a testament to her commitment to living a life of integrity. By upholding her values, she honors herself and the divine purpose for which she was created. This steadfastness requires courage, especially in a world that often encourages compromise for the sake of convenience, acceptance, or short-term gain. A woman of faith recognizes that compromising her values may offer temporary relief or satisfaction, but it ultimately leads to disconnection from her true self and her higher purpose. She refuses to take the easier path if it requires her to betray her principles. Instead, she chooses the path of integrity even when it is more challenging, knowing that this choice aligns her with divine blessings and long-term fulfillment. Refusing to compromise her values also means setting boundaries and being discerning in her relationships. A woman of God does not tolerate behavior that disrespects her or conflicts with her moral and spiritual beliefs. She understands that allowing such behavior not only harms her but also sends a message that her values are flexible or unimportant. By standing firm in her principles, she communicates her worth and attracts relationships that are rooted in mutual respect, shared values, and genuine connection. This discernment extends to all areas of her life, from romantic partnerships to friendships, professional relationships, and community involvement. In romantic relationships, this principle is particularly significant. A woman of God knows that true love does not require her to abandon her values or compromise her integrity. She understands that a healthy, loving relationship is one in which both partners honor and support each other's principles. She refuses to engage in relationships that demand she compromise her beliefs, knowing that such arrangements are not rooted in love but in control or convenience. By holding firm to her values, she creates space for a partnership that is built on trust, respect, and shared purpose. Standing firm in her values also strengthens her sense of self and her connection to the divine. Each time she chooses integrity over compromise, she reinforces her belief in herself and her faith in a higher power. She learns to trust her instincts and honor her inner guidance, knowing that these are gifts from the Creator meant to lead her toward her highest good. This trust becomes a source of empowerment, enabling her to navigate life's challenges with confidence and clarity. While remaining true to her values, a woman of God also practices compassion and understanding. She does not judge others who may not share her beliefs or standards, recognizing that everyone is on their own unique spiritual journey. Her refusal to compromise is not an act of superiority or self-righteousness, but an expression of self-respect in alignment with her divine purpose. She respects others' choices while maintaining her boundaries and standing firm in her convictions. This balance of compassion and strength allows her to foster healthy relationships and interactions without sacrificing her principles. There may be times when standing firm in her values feels isolating or difficult. The pressure to conform or compromise can be immense, and the path of integrity can feel lonely. However, a woman of God draws strength from her faith, knowing that she is never truly alone. She trusts that the Creator sees her efforts and will provide her with the support, guidance, and opportunities she needs. This faith sustains her, giving her the courage to persevere even in the face of adversity. A woman of God understands that her values are not just about personal choices, they are a reflection of her commitment to creating a life of meaning, purpose, and service. By living in alignment with her principles, she becomes a beacon of light and inspiration for others. Her steadfastness encourages those around her to examine their own values and live with greater integrity. She demonstrates that it is possible to navigate the complexities of life with grace, strength, and authenticity, even in the face of challenges. In choosing not to compromise her values, a woman of God embraces her role as a steward of divine principles. She understands that her actions have a ripple effect, influencing not only her own life but also the lives of those she touches. By living authentically and honoring her principles, she contributes to a world that is more aligned with love, justice, and truth. This commitment to her values is not just a personal act, it is a profound expression of her faith, her self-respect, and her dedication to a higher purpose. Trusting in divine timing is a profound act of faith that requires patience, surrender, and an unwavering belief in a higher power's plan for our lives. For a woman of God, this principle is not merely a spiritual ideal, but a daily practice that shapes her decisions, her mindset, and her approach to life's challenges and blessings. Trusting in divine timing allows her to live with peace and purpose, knowing that everything unfolds exactly as it should, in the right way and at the right moment. At the heart of trusting in divine timing is the understanding that life is a journey orchestrated by a power greater than ourselves. While we may have our plans and desires, a woman of God knows that the Creator's wisdom far exceeds human comprehension. She embraces the truth that there is a time for everything, a time to grow, to wait, to act, and to receive. This perspective frees her from the anxiety of trying to control every outcome and allows her to rest in the assurance that all things are working together for her highest good. Trusting in divine timing does not mean passivity or resignation. It requires active faith, where she continues to prepare herself, make efforts, and align her actions with her goals, all while releasing attachment to specific outcomes. She understands that delays are not denials, but opportunities for growth, reflection, or protection. Perhaps the timing isn't right because she needs more preparation, or the circumstances aren't yet aligned. By trusting the process, she learns to embrace these moments as essential steps in her journey, rather than obstacles to her success. Patience is a cornerstone of this trust. In a world that often values instant gratification, waiting can feel uncomfortable or frustrating. Yet, a woman of God views waiting as a sacred act of faith. During these times, she leans into prayer, meditation, and self-reflection, using the space to deepen her connection with the divine and gain clarity about her path. She understands that waiting is not wasted time, but an integral part of the unfolding of her destiny. It allows her to develop resilience, wisdom, and a deeper appreciation for the blessings that eventually come her way. Surrender is another essential aspect of trusting in divine timing. Surrender does not mean giving up or losing hope. It means letting go of the need to micromanage the process and trusting that the universe is working on her behalf. This act of surrender requires humility and the willingness to acknowledge that she does not have all the answers. It is an affirmation of her faith that the Creator's plan is perfect, even when it doesn't align with her immediate desires. Through surrender, she experiences a sense of liberation, as she no longer feels burdened by the need to force or control outcomes. In trusting divine timing, a woman of God also learns to recognize and appreciate the blessings of the present moment. Often we become so focused on future goals that we overlook the beauty and abundance already present in our lives. Trusting the divine plan encourages her to slow down, practice gratitude, and fully engage with her current experiences. By doing so, she opens her heart to the lessons, joy, and growth available to her right now, rather than postponing her happiness for some future event. This trust also requires the courage to let go of what no longer serves her. There may be times when her plans do not unfold as she envisioned, or when doors close that she had hoped would remain open. In these moments, she reminds herself that rejection is often redirection, a divine way of guiding her towards something better. She lets go of what she cannot control, trusting that the Creator is leading her toward opportunities and experiences that are truly meant for her. This act of release allows her to move forward with faith and confidence even when the path ahead is unclear. One of the profound gifts of trusting in divine timing is the ability to remain hopeful and optimistic even in the face of uncertainty. A woman of God holds onto the belief that her life is unfolding perfectly, even when she cannot yet see the full picture. She carries this hope in her heart, allowing it to sustain her through challenges and inspire her to keep moving forward. This hope is not blind optimism, but a deep-seated faith in the Creator's love and wisdom. Trusting in divine timing also fosters a sense of interconnectedness. A woman of God recognizes that her life is part of a larger tapestry, intricately woven with the lives of others and the universe itself. She understands that her blessings, growth, and actions are interconnected with the greater good. By trusting in the divine plan, she aligns herself with this greater purpose, knowing that her journey contributes to the unfolding of something far beyond her individual story. Trusting in divine timing is an act of profound self-love and spiritual alignment. It allows a woman of God to release fear, embrace faith, and live with a sense of peace and purpose. She no longer feels the need to rush, force, or compete, for she knows that what is meant for her will not pass her by. She trusts that the Creator's timing is perfect, and she walks forward with confidence, joy, and an open heart, ready to receive all that life has to offer, exactly when the time is right. Embracing self-love and purpose is foundational for a woman of God as she navigates her spiritual journey and relationships. Self-love is not rooted in arrogance or self-centeredness, but is a divine acknowledgement of her worth as a creation of the Creator. When a woman truly loves and values herself, she aligns with her higher purpose, understanding that she is uniquely designed to fulfill a significant role in the world. This alignment empowers her to live authentically, confidently, and intentionally, allowing her light to shine in every aspect of her life. Loving oneself begins with recognizing her intrinsic worth, which is not dependent on external validation or circumstances. A woman of God knows that her value is not determined by her appearance, achievements, or the opinions of others, but by the fact that she is a beloved creation of the divine. This recognition liberates her from the need to seek approval or acceptance from others, enabling her to focus on nurturing her spirit, mind, and body. Self-love becomes an act of worship and gratitude, a way of honoring the Creator's work in her life. In embracing self-love, a woman of God also learns to silence the inner critic that often undermines confidence and self-worth. She recognizes that negative self-talk and self-doubt are not reflections of truth, but distractions that pull her away from her divine purpose. Through prayer, affirmation, and self-reflection, she replaces these limiting beliefs with empowering thoughts rooted in love, faith, and truth. This practice allows her to cultivate a positive and nurturing relationship with herself, fostering a sense of inner peace and resilience. As she grows in self-love, she also develops the ability to set healthy boundaries. A woman who values herself does not allow others to mistreat, manipulate, or exploit her. She understands that boundaries are not acts of rejection, but expressions of self-respect and self-care. By establishing and maintaining these boundaries, she protects her emotional, spiritual, and physical well-being, ensuring that her energy is directed toward relationships and pursuits that uplift and inspire her. This clarity strengthens her relationships and allows her to give and receive love freely and authentically. Living with purpose is a natural extension of self-love. A woman of God understands that she was created with a unique mission, one that only she can fulfill. Embracing this purpose requires deep introspection, faith, and a willingness to trust in the Creator's plan for her life. She listens to her inner guidance, seeks wisdom through prayer and meditation, and pays attention to the opportunities and passions that ignite her spirit. Purpose is not always tied to grand gestures or monumental achievements. It often manifests in the small, meaningful ways she impacts the lives of those around her. Purpose gives her life direction and meaning, enabling her to prioritize what truly matters. A woman who lives with purpose does not waste her energy on distractions or pursuits that do not align with her values and goals. Instead, she focuses on cultivating her gifts, talents, and passions, knowing that these are the tools through which she fulfills her divine mission. This sense of purpose drives her to persevere through challenges, for she knows that her efforts contribute to something greater than herself. When a woman of God embraces self-love and purpose, she becomes a source of inspiration and empowerment for others. Her confidence and authenticity create a ripple effect, encouraging those around her to embrace their own worth and purpose. She models what it means to live with integrity, faith, and intention, demonstrating that a life rooted in love and purpose is both fulfilling and transformative. Her actions become a testimony to the power of aligning with divine guidance and embracing one's unique journey. Self-love and purpose also enable her to navigate life's uncertainties with grace and resilience. When challenges arise, she does not falter or lose sight of her worth. Instead, she draws strength from her faith and her understanding of her divine mission. She trusts that every obstacle is an opportunity for growth, every setback a redirection towards something better. This trust allows her to remain steadfast in her journey, knowing that she is supported by a power far greater than herself. A woman of God who embodies self-love and purpose also radiates joy and fulfillment. Her contentment does not depend on external circumstances, but arises from her alignment with her true self and her higher purpose. This inner joy becomes a source of light and hope for others, reminding them of the beauty and possibility of living authentically and purposefully. Her life becomes a testament to the transformative power of self-love and faith, inspiring those around her to embark on their own journeys of self-discovery and spiritual growth. Self-love and purpose are not separate pursuits, but interconnected aspects of a woman's spiritual journey. By embracing her worth, she aligns with her purpose. By living her purpose, she deepens her self-love. Together, these principles create a foundation for a life of meaning, fulfillment, and divine alignment. A woman of God who loves herself and lives with purpose does not chase after what is not meant for her. Instead, she attracts the people, opportunities, and blessings that align with her divine mission. She becomes a living expression of faith, love, and purpose, a testament to the Creator's infinite wisdom and grace. Thanks for watching.